I'm Steve. Welcome back to the Career Success Academy. We're glad you're here. This is the first for a new series called Build a Knockout Resume. We're going to help you with tips and techniques for taking that resume and helping it stand out. It's a short series, but an important series. Because as we all know, it's the purpose of the resume to get you that interview. So, take a minute to like, to subscribe, but also to share this video with other people, because we all know people that are looking for a new job or need that job opportunity. How do we do that? Through the resume. Don't forget, click on that little bell so that you get notified when our next video comes out, especially in this series of Build That Knockout Resume. It comes to mind that resumes today, there's an awful lot of advice, but resumes today are all about bullet points, and they're all about short sentences. Keep your resume as short as you can. 1 page is perfect. What other advice do you get? That you should use lots of bullet points. Use a lot of buzzwords, because the AI looks for the buzzwords, will ferret you out so that you can get chosen for that interview. Well, I don't know where all that advice comes from. But from our perspective, a resume is supposed to get you that interview. And to get you that interview, the resume has to tell your story. So in this video, we're going to talk a little bit about how to get that initial part done. But most important, I want to talk about the purpose of the resume and how you get that interview. You have to connect with the reader. And connecting with that reader is done by giving that reader 3 things. Number 1, we connect with the reader by telling them who you are. Now, many of us have names that are hard to pronounce, or many of us have how do I want to say this? You put your name down there, but I've seen so many resumes where they don't put down their email contact and they don't put down a phone number contact. Well, if they decide they like your resume, how are they supposed to contact you? Put it right at the top. Your name. Your name should be a little bit bolder, a little bit bigger than the rest of the resume. And your contact information should be right there, so the first thing they see is who you are. The second thing, for the purpose of the resume, and what your resume has to do, is your resume has to show the reader, tell the reader, what have you done? And many of us think that what we've done is either not good enough or not expansive enough, or doesn't give the reader a great insight into who we are. You're telling the story. So it's your job to make sure that when you read your resume or somebody else reads your resume, they know what you have done. And once you tell them who you are, and you've told them what you've done, your history, your work history, your career history, it's now important for you to help them connect the dots, because every reader that reads the resume is going to try to extrapolate, big word, they're going to try to figure out from what you put down in their minds whether or not you're a good fit for what they have. Well, make it easy for them. The easier you help them connect those dots, the more you increase your chances of being selected for the interview. So let's recap. tell your story. Bullet points and buzzwords aren't the answer. If your resume goes longer than a page, so what? Nowadays, all of the resumes are on the computer, so they have to scroll a little bit more. If your resume is truly selling yourself by telling your story and they're interested, they're going to scroll another half page or whatever it takes to learn more about you. So this is all critical for your success. Let me say the same thing a different way. After you put down your contact information, the next thing that comes underneath that is the section where you can talk about in a couple of sentences. By a couple of sentences, I mean 3 or 4 sentences that you can label either as your objectives or it's your summary. It's some sort of section. We can talk about the title at another time. That describes for them those 3 things we talked about: who you are, what you've done, and help them connect the dots. Basically, what you can do for them. So in that section of 3 or 4 sentences, you want to talk about basically not only what you're good at, a lot of those soft skills, whether it's leadership or team player or hard worker, problem solver. You want to work in some of those words into that section. Those are your universal skills. But it gives you a chance to tailor your resume towards this particular job opportunity by connecting the dots and telling them, hey, I've done this, but now per what you're asking for in your job opportunity, your job offering, this is how I see myself working for your company. It goes back to what we talked about in another series. Why this job? Why are you interested in this particular job? Connect with the people in that section before they get into your equivalent of bullet points. Use full sentences. That's the beauty of that top section. Use full sentences so that you can connect at the beginning of your resume with the reader. This is how you build a knockout resume. We've got a lot more tips for you. Please watch for our additional videos. Like, subscribe, and share this video with someone that you know who's struggling on how to write a good resume that will separate them from the rest of the resumes that are being submitted for this particular job opportunity. We're glad you're here. Thank you for watching the video. We'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.